Hey, we're back with a win here. Here we go. Cats and Rats After Dark. I'm your host, Kirby Lupo, joined alongside my producer at the top there, Big C's, Cesar Lucero, and my co-host, Nick Levine. Cody is away today in Northern Florida. Back up there traveling, seeing some family and friends. Panthers with a big 3-2 victory here. I almost had this on the nose, gentlemen. I said a 3-1 Panthers victory here tonight.
Should
Ottawa
have been a 3-1. Should have been a 3-1 goal.
I know. It was like a 3-1 game. How this team played tonight defensively, I thought they got better as the night went along. And then early on, they were doing a lot of recovery plays, Nick, Caesar, when I talk about, out of position. I'm like, I don't know how this night's going to turn out. But they got better as the night went along, kept Ottawa in front of them, really stacked up the neutral zone. You could almost call this a Paul Maurice defense masterclass here.
It was. And Mikko, I thought, played one of his best games today. Johnny, I hate to break it to you, but we don't have a first-round draft pick these next couple of years. So, but I thought we played really good defensively. Yeah. What was the shots on goal in the first two periods? Like 12?
Something like that.
So that was really good. Bob played pretty well. Now that first goal was a little bit tricky, but as far as the defense, Forsling played better. Ekblad played good. The whole team played well overall. Even the forwards played much better defensively.
Yeah, and I think kind of a return to what we've kind of been accustomed to seeing over the past couple of years. I thought this was similar to positive things we did in the Montreal game. I really liked the second period in Montreal. I mean, again, I thought the first half of the game on Thursday was more or less pretty good. Obviously, personnel has a lot to do with it tonight. The only team that you could make an argument is in a more precarious spot than the Florida Panthers are the Ottawa Senators, and obviously, proven here tonight, they with a winning record are the 8th in the Atlantic, and that's just the way it goes this year.
I was gonna say we'll take it any way we can have it, right?
Yeah. Some people are upset, guys, with like how we have been in the standings. I saw a stat tonight, and I think Nick, he joined me on the Hockey Night in Canada feed tonight on Sportsnet. Did you see the Ottawa stats there, Nick? They are on pace as they were last year and way ahead of their pace 2 years ago. That's how competitive the Eastern Conference is this year.
Well, and it's obviously, I usually say the line, there's no team with a record below 500. I can't say that anymore. Columbus is below 500, but you take a look here to kind of give you some more context. The Florida Panthers are at, with the win tonight, 49 points, which would put them number 3 in the Pacific Division.
What were we last year, Nick? Can you find that out at this time?
At this point in time, I could find that out right now.
Yeah.
But kind of to give you some more context, like Washington Capitals, the number 1 wild card, Pittsburgh Penguins, the number 2 wild card, would both be number 1 in the Pacific Division. So kind of just goes to show you the Eastern Conference is crazy this year. And, I mean, that's really kind of the struggle we're getting to here. I mean, and when it comes, we talked about trades in the past, but really every single game, especially these 4-point games, there's no really easy opponents anymore. Like we would be able to, a 4-game road trip against Montreal, Detroit, Toronto, and Ottawa. Panther 2 or 3 years ago, we're thinking that's easy 3 out of 4. That's not the case anymore. It really is a question mark, and we've seen it at different points in time over the last couple of years. Ottawa, now you see Buffalo, Montreal, top 3 in the division. Detroit, I've been wrong on them. So it really is a challenge in navigating this, and the parity in the league, particularly the Eastern Conference, is incredible. And Caesar, to go to your point here, I'm pulling up the 2025 January numbers here. Hold on a minute.
I just want to say with that Chris Scott comment, Chris was originally scheduled to be here tonight, but I said we have our After Dark, so maybe we'll push that ahead to next week. We win without Chris Scott on the stream. We do have a poll right now up. Who is the biggest Olympic snub? Make sure to check our homepage here on our YouTube channel and vote for that poll.
So if we take a look at where we are right now, the Panthers with tonight's win are 23-18-3, 49 points. They're on the outside looking in a playoff spot. Last year, the Panthers were 25-15-2, 52 points, 619 points percentage here. And I mean,
difference. So
3 point. Now again, at this point last year, we had played 2 less games, so the points percentage between this year and last year, I'll confirm it here actually, is 547 compared to 619. So there is a pretty noticeable difference. And games like tonight, I know people are going to say it's just Ottawa, but we needed to stop the bleeding here. And all of a sudden, if you're able to get Marchand and Tkachuk back on Monday night against Buffalo, you could really turn this thing around and get 2 quick wins, win 2 crucial 4-point games. And now you're looking ahead to 2 teams, Washington and Carolina, that you've had success with this year, and Matthew Tkachuk is back inserted into the lineup. You're really
that player's not available, Johnny. That player's not available.
But I think one good week, one bad week, it really separates everybody. And we've kind of seen that fluctuation this year, Kirby, of like with the Panthers prior to Christmas break, they're the ones who had a good 1-2 week stretch. And then after, it's the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Buffalo Sabres having a good 1-2 week stretch. And we're having a poor 1-2 week stretch.
Yep.
It really is a fluctuation point. And anytime there seems to be some form of a separation from the top to the bottom or in the wild card, sooner or later it seems to find itself right back to where it started. And it'll be interesting to see here down the stretch. Obviously, a lot of teams are dealing with numerous injuries. But I will say this, particularly on tonight's game, because I know that's what we're covering right now. Sandis Vilmanis, I thought, was really solid. Take a look at his rookie lap here. I really liked him.
Yeah.
I thought he was really good.
Really good. I mean,
defensively, the stops that he made through the neutral zone coming back on.
I love his size, the way he skates.
I'm going to be honest, he didn't look out of place.
He's an offensive player. He's not a defensive player.
He didn't look out of place for somebody I mean, the games could get physical, and I don't think he shied away from that. That's something
he's really worked on that over the last 2 summers.
And when you really think about it, he's been playing in the AHL. The thing with the AHL, it's a slower league, but when it comes to physicality, it's still pro hockey, right?
Yeah.
So there is a bit of a familiarity with Vilmanis when it comes to that. And I think you might have something there. If Marchand or Tkachuk are not able to go Monday night, I think this is a guy that you see what you have in the middle 6 there. Maybe give him an opportunity with some even better plays. I'll say this right now. I thought Mackey had a lot of jump tonight, but he didn't finish. The execution is lacking there. And that's starting to get on some people's nerves. But I really think overall, Caesar, you kind of pointed it at the beginning. I think this was the best game from our blue line in a while. I think that's where it really started. Nico Mikkola was outstanding tonight. I think Aaron Ekblad and Gustav Forsling, particularly through the offensive zone, were really activating up well. You saw it on the third goal when Forsling scored. I think it really kind of started with, Kirby, you said it, puck retrievals. I think our puck retrieval was much better tonight. Our pursuit was much better. There was, I think we were up 3-1. Greer, Verhaeghe, and Bennett all got a piece of a guy. They got a hit going in on the forecheck, and it forced a turnover. And then you get that cycle game going, work it up top to Ekblad. And then Forsling, he's a phenomenal skater. If you can get that cycle game, that physicality going, you can move that puck quick, and Gustav Forsling walked right into it. And this is kind of a night like Levi Merilainen, who's been struggling for Ottawa. They wanted good goaltending from him for a while, and they haven't really been able to get it. Tonight, they get a pretty good performance out of him. And
they haven't got good goaltending from anyone.
So this is kind of a wasted game from Merilainen when you really think about the effort he put in. And Ottawa, I think they did some good things, but when you're playing a team this shorthanded, this is not an acceptable outcome.
And
I know Frank's been pretty negative and pessimistic here, but I think we're hanging in there. We're hanging in there. What more can you expect?
If Vilmanis plays these next couple of games and he does well and he stands his play well, do you guys would you guys consider him over Belinskas at this point?
Nick?
Belinskas for Vilmanis. Vilmanis is a forward. Vilmanis is a forward.
Not Belinskas, Boquist. What the hell?
Boquist, yeah. Boquist. Yes, absolutely.
I do apologize. Sorry.
No, you're good. Absolutely. I mean, and by the way, Ubis Belinskas.
Because I think I've been really disappointed in him and this year as well.
Yeah, I think when you take a look at particularly Jesper Boquist last year, it was really good through the first 45, 50 games of the year. I haven't really, since he signed the extension, I don't think he's done anything except he had a really good a couple games in the playoffs there when he came in relief. But I mean, I think that number one, Sergei Bobrovsky looked like Sergei
Die Hard,
Bobrovsky.
you've been hard on him, I think, because of the results. Nick, People wanted to have rest. Guys, is this rest thing being overstated by the fans?
I do think he's tired, but again, I think you need points, and you're going to start your best guy. And
how tired is he though?
I don't even think he's tired. I just don't think he's. I don't think he's just locked in, like where I've seen him before in years past.
That's fair, but the play in front of him, Caesar, hasn't been locked.
Oh, I agree. The play hasn't been great in front of him, but we've seen years past where the play hasn't been great in front of him, and he still makes these incredible saves. We haven't seen that from Bob this year yet. That's where I push back a little.
What about tonight, the breakaway save?
Oh,
what about Austin?
Today he was great. I thought he played really
I think
good.
he's been
the Toronto game.
I think the Toronto game was good. I think it's also very hard to assess when our whole game, our identity is missing because of our personnel. I mean, you can't really evaluate anybody's game completely 100% fairly. With the guys we're missing, and I mean, certain points of the year you probably could, like when the blue line's fully healthy and you kind of have that top 6 set the way you do, but now we don't. Now top 4 is not even set the way it is, so it's going to be interesting to see how things shake up, particularly in the next week or two, and if Marchand's able to come back, and if and when Tkachuk comes back.
Sorry, Caesar, just jump in there. I didn't like the Verhaeghe check from behind. Didn't like his delay of game penalty tonight. Some things tonight I didn't like in his game. I don't like that hit.
That hit was uncalled for. You don't really see that from him either. So.
Yeah, on the power play, that was just a weird situation, and I don't want him burying a guy like that there. So I just wanted to say
I didn't like that hit. I think, I really do believe that. I don't think it was malicious. I think he lost the puck, and it's kind of just like one of those. You lose.
Controller disconnect. He disconnect.
Just disconnect sometimes, and
it's not good.
You don't even think. It's just a desperation play, maybe a little bit of frustration there. But I don't think it's anything malicious. But you got to be a little bit smarter. I mean, especially right now. I mean, 180, 190, however far away you are from your goal line, from your goaltender, it's not good enough. And I haven't been a fan.
I just want to say this about Nando. Good points here, but Ottawa did beat us in ozone time tonight, right, Nick?
Yeah, I think, a lot of it, we kept them to the outside a lot, but they were able to get some good chances into the slot. There were a lot of net front opportunities there that, was bouncing over sticks, and they just weren't able to get to it. That's kind of been reminiscent of what we've dealt with at points in time this year when we've lacked puck luck, as some would say.
Now, just to jump in to Absolute's point here, I think that would make 11 Olympians for the Panthers if you're counting Vilmanis, right, Nick?
Correct. Yeah.
So now we're at 11, which I think leads the NHL or ties the NHL for Olympians if you're going to count.
Yeah.
And the other night there, Caesar, I did catch something on you, and I didn't catch it on air, but I did catch it on the playback when I was doing some timestamps, because you guys all want people to do timestamps, so I'm out there helping with the timestamps. You mentioned Belinka's getting a rest come Olympic time. No, Caesar. He's the number one. No.
You're right. He's the number one
defenseman for
You're right.
He's getting the opposite of rest.
I get him and Boquist mixed up, so that's okay. That's
what you're thinking. I don't think rest is going to help Boquist, but
no, no, not at this
point.
That
the other night. Yeah. It'll be 12. Role model said, yeah, with Barca, but he's not going to be that time.
He won't be here, so he will not be here.
We do have some football fans in the background. If you're hearing any noise tonight in the feeds, I don't know why they're making all that noise. It's not.
Aren't you guys Cowboy fans? Unless you're rooting for that pick. I mean that.
Unless they're putting something on the line, which.
Let's talk a little bit about Forsling, because I know we were only going to talk about Bob and our rookie here, but I like the way Forsling played today, especially offensively. That slap shot goal, what a shot! I feel like Forsling has a good shot. Sometimes he doesn't use it as much. What do you guys think about that?
I do think he has a really good shot. I mean, there's been times where he just sprays and prays, kind of, just throws it on net. But I think,
the thing crap at the wall.
Yeah, he just throws shit at the net, and that's fine at some points when there's traffic in front. But sorry about that. It's just not his game. It really is not his game. I think there's been this kind of talk about, what if he got more power play time? I think he's good in the role he's in. And So yeah.
Because that's his second goal of the year. Everyone's like, well, they want more of that. Well, if you want more of that, it's got to come from the player himself. Like Paul Maurice is throwing him out there enough opportunities, and you can't say, well, give him power play time. He has that opportunity. They've gone to Belinkus now to start the night. Belinkus starts the night on the power play, not Aaron Ekblad. And also what I saw in the penalty. By the way, we didn't mention this. Our special teams really carried us tonight. The 2 power play goals. Obviously, what we did on the penalty kill, that was dominant. You also see Sam Bennett out there, Nick. We've talked about this with Cody. He was out there to start the night on the penalty kill. And if you guys don't tell me that's not a Team Canada thing that said to Sam Bennett, you need to do more things, then, hey, I'm the one out there saying it. I don't hear anyone else saying it.
I've been saying it since the beginning of the year. If Bennett wants to live up to his contract, he needs to start doing a little bit more of the little things. Winning face-off draws, going on the penalty kill, things like that. So,
but did that come from the team or Team Canada? Because it just started recently.
Well, I mean, here's the other part. I mean, we don't know. There may be a Team Canada spot open if certain injuries happen the way they do. But our fans get mad at Team Canada. They've motivated Sam Bennett to do these things.
And the thing is, I kind of wish our injuries motivated him instead of the Olympics.
Good point. Ding.
Yeah, I mean,
it wasn't the case.
Look, I mean, you could make an argument. His resume was he's got a very good resume, but
you guys say
when you really think about it, just started the year costing him, and he said that too. I mean,
listen to what Jim Biringer said on our latest podcast episode. You guys think it's ridiculous?
I mean, you're not leaving Celebrini at home. You're not leaving Suzuki at home. So those 2 guys come up. Who moves out? And you already know Hagel and Sorelli are going. That's
if you guys want to say Sorelli, we understand. We know that.
Yeah.
But that's a connection thing with Cooper.
Yeah,
that's a connection thing.
We all knew that, right?
And look, I'd rather him rest. I don't care.
Guys, look who is in the chat. Can we speak on it, Nick? Can we speak on the story a bit?
I think that he was really solid. I mean,
the story tonight. Who was in attendance tonight?
I mean, for Jamie, this guy has loved Sandis Vilmanis for years, and to be able to not only go to his hometown, the Ottawa Senators, he went to the game tonight. Not only to be there for a win, but to be there for his guys' NHL debut. That's great. I'm happy for you, boss. I mean, that's it. You can't write a better story than that. So I feel happy for you, James.
Jamie, did you wear your Broncos jersey or your Senators jersey?
Caesar firing shots. He was wearing his palm tree jersey from what I saw. I don't know what he had underneath.
Love you, Jamie, man.
But Jamie,
I'm waiting for that.
Jamie, I am happy for you, boss. I mean,
he's
can write a better
been
story
giving
than that.
All year.
He's been giving Caesar shots all year on football.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, well, next week he'll be joining us on the couch, so it's fine. Oh my gosh! But I mean, the whole thing with tonight, it's a good thing to see, obviously, and there's a lot of hockey left. We're just over 50% of the way done, and we're right in the thick of it. I mean, again, it's gonna be a grind. I'd like to hopefully think Matthew Tkachuk's gonna bring the spark, not just a energy spark, but we need Matthew Tkachuk to. I'll just say it. He needs to be a bit better this year than he has been in past years.
We need the Matthew Tkachuk year one.
I mean, that's what you need. And he's the type of player to rise to the occasion. I think he knows what's required of him coming in. And I don't have any doubt that he can do it. I mean, we need him, right? We need him. Kirby always says, Tkachuk, we needed him more when he first came in. Now we kind of, the way the rest of the team is built and how the culture kind of spread, the energy's kind of spread. You can survive a bit without him. Without Alexander Barkov, you kind of need the old Matthew Tkachuk back. And I don't think he's unaware of that. I'm sure he's well aware of it. And hopefully we can get year one Matthew Tkachuk, because if we do, then we'll be fine. We have the center depth that we didn't have a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. Even though Barkov's out, the blue line is better. System is more in place than it was then. So I think there'll be some opportunity here to really make up some points. And, tonight's nice, but we have 3 more games on this road trip. We got to win 2 of them at least. I'd like to win all 3. But now you got to win 2 of the next 3, and you got to win Buffalo. I don't even care. That's a 4-point game, because
these road trips have taken a chunk out of us this year. The California one.
Shout out, Joe. Shout out Joe
Thank you,
Dopes,
Joe.
as always.
Joe is believing. A lot of people this week, Joe, in my DMs, no three-peat. Some other lines off air, Nick, that I heard as well. Put my eyebrow. You know what I'm talking about. Joe is keeping the faith. He's keeping the hope. Thank you, Joe.
And sorry about that. That game against Buffalo, I think that's the biggest one on this road trip, because obviously the Montreal-Toronto one, fine, but we're kind of chasing Buffalo here. You're able to kind of win a 4-point game, and then you have these two games. I think Washington and Carolina are very winnable with our forward core if we're fully healthy for those games.
And Philadelphia just beat the Bolts 7-2.
No, they lost.
Okay,
Did they?
Tampa
Okay.
Bay.
Okay, I was reading that.
So we
wrong.
did get some help. Pittsburgh lost. Philadelphia lost. Buffalo, unfortunately, won. Toronto won, I believe, but 4-point
Ottawa,
games.
we beat them.
Ottawa, we beat them. But again, you have control a little bit. You have two teams you're chasing, Washington and Buffalo, coming up this week. It's imperative that you win those games. The Carolina game, not so much, but I do think we match up well against them. And, we do need to play a little bit better, though. And now Jones not being here, that's still a role. I wonder how much of tonight had to do with the fact that it's Ottawa and they've really been poor this year.
Dougie Hamilton, Indade, stay tuned when Jersey Jim is here. I'm sounding off on Dougie tonight. And you fans messaging me wanting him. No. What was that? Any other parts on that there, Nick, with Seth Jones?
No, I just think that, what's it called? I think that we need to, one of the things with Belinskas that I really liked also is his physicality. I think he's stepped up in that regard. I mean, there's been ups and downs with it, but he's been asked to take on a bigger role, and I think he's done a better job than, I've anticipated, that's for sure. So hopefully we can string together some points here, because we can't really afford to fall behind any more than we have. Shout out to your role model. As Mariah Carey sang back in 1997, I still believe.
I've got a couple Mariah Carey songs. I used to work concert events. I was hired in to work different events, and she was the worst at showing up late. She's like an hour and a half, 2 hours late. So she made my nights really long, and I hated that. I said that kind of weird.
Wait, you made your... Whoa, Kirby!
Whoa! Are we breaking news?
Okay.
That's Caesar's fault. That's Caesar's fault, because he was giving me some inappropriate stuff that's going to stay off air earlier tonight.
Hey, that was
Caesar,
a good one, though.
You know what I'm talking about. The other Mariah Carey story that I'm trying to think of. Oh, I shared that meme gif of that girl that sang the Mariah Carey thing where she's crying. It was on TikTok and all that. When fans didn't believe us that we were getting Matthew Tkachuk, and you St. Louis Blues fans out there, you deleted your tweets that time. So there was a lot of crying from St. Louis Blues fans back then. That reminds me of Mariah Carey as well. Oh, man, I got caught there.
Yeah. I mean, that's incredible. That is incredible. But any comments on the game tonight, gentlemen?
No, other than we played well defensively,
We helped Bob tonight.
Bob played well.
I'm not going to go off on Bob had a masterclass. The defense and the team in front of him played well, but I think he would have had that game tonight. Now, it didn't start well, and everyone was panicking on social media after that first goal. And Nick, I wasn't going to message you or say, that's not Bob's fault. That's not a good goal. He recovered.
Yeah, I mean, it's
even if it's a deflected puck, he kind of hits it and helps the guy to.
Yeah, you kind of just start the game off 1-0 after the first shot and go from there. That's what we got to focus on right now.
Well, Jacob Markstrom's done that a lot over the last year too, which we're going to talk.
Jacob Markstrom, I know a guy that really defended him this year. Maybe we'll welcome him in after the break.
Now, want to go to a break here, gentlemen?
Yeah, sure. Will we take a minute? We're going to hear a word from our sponsor, Caneswear.
Panthers fever is here. Are you geared up? Caneswear in Davie is the place for all your Florida Panthers needs. They have the latest gear for our favorite NHL team. Jerseys, polos, t-shirts, hoodies, hats, and more. Caneswear has you covered. Stop by their store in Davie or at pantherswear.com. Again, that's pantherswear, WEAR.com for all your Panthers gear.
And a word from another one of our sponsor, Beck Sells FLA. Champions don't settle, and neither should you. Let me introduce Jeremy Beckham at Beck Sells FLA, bringing a competitive edge to South Florida luxury real estate. If you want a home that performs in all three zones, location, lifestyle, and long-term value, Jeremy is your power play. The clock's ticking. Let's go for the cup. Reach out now at becksellsfla.com. And we are also going to be giving away this Matthew Tkachuk signed autograph frame when we finally get him in the lineup, whenever the hell that is.
So you guys still have another chance. Last
This
chance.
might be the last chance, but although who knows, we could be waiting until after the fucking Olympics with this shit. YouTube members, listen up for your chance to win a Matthew Tkachuk 20x14 autographed frame Stanley Cup photo donated to us by Les Dunbar, your sports memorabilia store, dual certified by YSMS and the players themselves. YSMS is the official memorabilia provider for Brad Marchand. Please visit Les' store online at www.yoursportsmemorabiliastore.com. Good luck and stay tuned to the Cats and Rats YouTube channel, and shout out again to Les Dunbar. And then just always remember to subscribe to our channel, like the video, comment, and if you would like to purchase buy your own membership to have a chance at some of these members only live streams, we'd love to have you purchase a super chat donation. We appreciate everybody no matter what. And yeah, there's just a lot of cool other perks, and make sure to check out our YouTube page. And shout out as always to Joe Osceola for his 50 donated subscriptions. And
I can tell you guys this, for the member live stream, it is really cool. It's your floor. You get to join us, talk about hockey, and talk about Panthers hockey, and bring up any subjects you want. So it's definitely worth it. Hang out with us, and only members get to be in that part as well.
Well, now we're going to talk some more hockey. Gentlemen, I think you guys know who it is.
Back.
Man,
what's up?
Jim? I swear, I don't think you ever take a break, do you?
No breaks.
No breaks. All hustle, no breaks.
Yo, no sleep till Brooklyn, baby.
Yes, sir.
You got to battle along those boards, though, Jim, because these guys here, as the fans are calling it online, and you know about online, Stakegate, the fall of the New Jersey Devils. What is going on again with your team? We're not trying to work them in every week here, Jim.
You guys are just like working me in every week with this stuff, right?
No.
Look, the Devils are this year's New York Rangers. I said it couple of shows this week. I've said it. The Devils are the Rangers of last year. They created all this distraction. They've created all of this chaos inside their own room because they tried to move players and things got out. Except this time, Tom Fitzgerald just didn't send a letter saying we're going to try to trade everybody. It got leaked out saying they were trying to trade for Quinn Hughes. They tried to move all these guys, and now there's friction inside the locker room. And here we are. Dougie Hamilton is being a healthy scratch. There's hurt feelings. The agent doesn't like the fact that his player is being targeted. And here we go again. Like, it's the same thing with the Rangers and Trouba last year. And look, I'll say this. I think New Jersey has a real problem in that room because they're letting 86 and 43 run the room, and those guys are mad because their brother didn't come. It was lined up for them. Yes, they tried to trade Dougie in the summer, which tells me that Tom Fitzgerald does not believe this team is a championship team because you don't trade a veteran defenseman on your right side when you're still missing Kovacevic. That means you think Nemec can take the next step. That means you believe Casey was going to be in the lineup. No other moves to be made. And here we are. New Jersey's in a complete free fall. And they're mentally weak. And they're letting all of this chaos and distraction ruin a good season. Now you have Sheldon Keefe again calling out the players calling out them for, what they need. They need to work harder. They need to play better. They need to do everything. So it's not a good look for New Jersey right now.
We'll get to this Hughes question here in a second, but just on the Dougie Hamilton front, I heard on Hockey on Canada tonight, he is refusing to waive the rest of his deal. He's getting a signing bonus of over $7 million. And then
he's not refusing to wait. They're not going to terminate it.
Terminate, yeah.
They're not going to terminate his deal, which makes sense because...
No, he's saying he's not going to terminate it.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't want to. Why would he? He's owed $7.4 million on July 1st, one check. I wouldn't terminate my deal either.
Yeah.
Well, and then there was, I believe Elliot Friedman also said that they tried to send them to San Jose this offseason.
Why would you? What?
You can make an argument, though, San Jose might be a better spot for him than New Jersey at this point, Jim.
Well, right now the Sharks are in the playoffs and the Devils aren't. But
right?
Again, as I said before,
you disagreed with me in the offseason of moving Dougie. Look at where we're at now.
I disagree with you. I disagree with you in the offseason because no
Kovacevic are going to take a step back.
I love this. I love this.
I disagree with you because if you believe this team was a championship team or could go deep, you don't trade a veteran defenseman and develop two players because then you go back to the situation that you had a couple of years ago when you're relying on young players with shoddy goaltending. And here we are again. We're in the same cycle.
But you should never believe Dougie is part of a championship team. That's the thing.
Well, at the time, Kovacevic wasn't coming back. And here's another caveat. The way they're doing it is if this continues, J.P. Barry, his agent, will file a grievance with the PA.
Can you explain that a bit? You said that to me off air. Can you explain that a bit?
So what's happening is if the Devils force him to waive his no-trade clause because he's healthy enough to be in the lineup, and they're sitting him because not of trade-related reasons, just because, hey, but they're targeting him, the agent can file a grievance with the PA saying, hey, my player's being targeted, to forcing him to waive his no-trade clause because he doesn't want to go anywhere.
Why didn't the team come out and just say trade purposes? They always say that. Why did they come out and say that?
Well, and look, I've learned to not believe anything the coach or the general manager says about the lineup. This isn't a healthy lineup. This team is not going anywhere.
Neither is Florida.
Look, Jonathan Kovacevic is going to give us a spark. The guy hasn't played since the playoffs. What is his knee like? Hasn't taken a conditioning stint anywhere. Nemeth just came back into the lineup. Pittsburgh was his first game after his injury. Come on. We realistically think Jonathan Kovacevic is going to do something in his first game back.
I don't think we can
I think it's a stretch.
This was up here from Role Model. I don't think we can speak on this, can we?
No.
What?
This comment here.
I want to know
the real
story on Jack Hughes' injury.
I cannot say anything publicly on that matter.
And then Kirby, I wanted to get
all I will say is he was being a dum-dum. That's it.
Let's see here, Kirby. I did want to bring up.
Was this like a Michael Trayvon Diggs situation?
Kirby.
Let's go with Plaxico Burress.
Oh. Okay.
Frank Salazar wants to know, any chance you boys see Zito going after Hamilton? Big cap though, Kirby.
I don't touch it. You guys go ahead.
I don't see it. I don't see it. What cap space do they have unless they're sending money back? And you're telling me, and he's got 2 years left. If there was a year left on this deal, then I'd say maybe because, okay, you could figure out a way in the offseason to work the money, and you're telling me Barkov's not coming back. Fine, I could see it. But not with 2 years left.
No.
Not only this year, next year, and the year after.
Yeah, I think part of the problem, particularly with this whole situation, and I think it even started back when you signed him. If I remember, there was this whole conversation. Dougie Hamilton was down to Carolina and New Jersey, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And I don't know why he decided to leave Carolina.
Because Carolina wasn't going to pay him $9 million because Tom Dundon doesn't pay players down there, despite what everybody thinks happens.
And I think that New Jersey has compiled sort of logjam back on the back end when you take a look at all the defensemen that they brought in over the last couple of years through drafting, through trading, through waivers. I mean, Jonathan Kovacevic last year, with Jim, we talked about it. I mean, giving him a big pay raise off of not a lot of – there's not a big sample size there, and now that starts to be a questionable decision. He hasn't played with a knee injury since the playoffs. Dougie Hamilton now on the back end, $9 million. And a couple of years ago, I remember talking about, okay, like this team took the next step when with Lindy Ruff there and they made the playoffs. They actually won a round versus the Rangers.
Because of Dougie Hamilton. Let's not forget that. Dougie Hamilton scored that overtime goal, that double overtime goal. If he doesn't score that,
I get reminded of it all the time.
But
it wasn't a good goal.
As good as that was, and you guys brought in Timo Meier, who has been very underwhelming for you, and since you brought him in, but maybe it's just the fact of the matter, and I don't want to upset anybody saying this, but I think you've said the same thing. Maybe they're just not as good as they think. Maybe
they're not
it's
as good
just
as they think they are. And look, I sent this to Kirby, and Caesar's a big college football guy.
Yep.
Nick, you're a big college football guy. I've been listening to quotes from Saban and Cignetti all day, and I want those guys in the Devils locker room. Some of these players have been told they've been the best thing since sliced bread, and they haven't been told no. And you have a choice. You have a choice to play the right way.
Yeah.
And they're not playing the right way.
Mm-hmm. And I think it all starts at the top, the leadership again. And Nico Hischier, I think, is a guy you can win with. But, take a look at the Jack Hughes and some of the other guys. I think Timo Meier, I've been very critical of him. These guys, they're big guys. They need to play better at certain points in time.
Yes, exactly. It does coming down to playing better, but it's also about building the team the right way. And to me, I'm starting to believe more and more, going back to last year's with the cap space and the year before with the cap space, not doing anything with it tells me that you do not believe this team is ready to compete.
Yeah, and I think there's been a lot of conversation surrounding this team this year. I remember I've been tuned in when the talk was Jake Allen and Jacob Markstrom. There's been that whole conundrum there. Jim, I know which side you stand on.
Look, I think he needs to play better, but I don't like the Markstrom hate. I do think he needs to play better, but defense and goaltending goes hand in hand because the other night, Connor Dewar comes out of the penalty box. That breakaway shouldn't happen on a power play. Guys have to read better. Guys have to play better.
I think this is
my final point on the mental thing is when a goal like that goes in, should not deflate your bench.
Yeah.
Jim, a question here. Are they overvaluing especially Jack, but also Luke Hughes? And I mean, as total players, leadership, attitude, doing all the things it takes to win, health considered as well.
Yes, I think they've overvalued them. I've been on record going back to when Jack Hughes was drafted that he should have been playing in the World Juniors that year for Team USA to gain confidence for himself. I've also been on record as saying that the organization should have told him to go play someplace else before coming to the National Hockey League. Just because you're the number one pick in the draft doesn't mean you don't need work. Jumping from U.S. developmental to the NHL without college, without another pro league somewhere in between, it's not good. Jack Hughes is a good player. He's skilled. But I've been told multiple times the Devils will not win with him on the roster. So take that for what it's worth. It's not just
I've always
podcasts.
felt that. I felt that till this past year, and then.
But I've been told by scouts, I've been told by executives that that player maybe is not a player you win with because he's never been told no. He's never been told he's not good enough because he has not taken the steps because guys like Macklin Celebrini, Connor Bedard, guys like that have passed him by in their second and third season.
People were putting him in the Barkov, Matthews, Eichel tier. Like they were just putting him there.
Right, without putting in the work.
Oh, yeah. And it's just, I don't know if it's the young American thing, if it's, hey, this guy plays a certain exciting style and, these analytics podcasts and articles, you got to watch Devils hockey, experience Devils hockey because it's exciting, right? But when it's your own team that you're covering, Jim, you see them every day. You see the warts, you see the faults, right?
I think the two brothers are controlling the room and they've never been told no. I'll be on record again. I've said it again. The clips are out there. Kirby, you've seen it. Any other coach sits Luke Hughes after the second mistake against Carolina. not increase his ice time. I'm sorry. That's a cardinal sin in hockey. You do not go in front of your own net with the puck being pressured and the puck goes in the net. Like, that's a benchable offense. That's a healthy scratch to me. Like, next game you're sitting. If Macklin Celebrini can be scratched, Will Smith, all these guys can be scratched, you can take a seat for a game.
Yep.
The Devils are afraid to do it.
So accountability is the biggest.
Accountability.
Right. And so now all of a sudden accountability with Dougie. Like, where's Andre Palat? He's been poor. Like, there's been a lot of guys that have been poor this year. It's not just Hamilton.
Yeah.
So kind of like what Florida did in the before we started building this culture, where they brought in Hornquist to change the culture in the locker room.
Well, that's what Palat was supposed to be. They brought in Andre Palat. They brought in these different types of pieces. They brought in Paul Cotter and Stefan Nason the last couple of years to try to add that DNA, a bit of a culture change there. I mean, short of the one thing that's missing that the Panthers had is they shook up the core, and
the Devils need to do that. And so, but you have to decide: is Timo Meier a part of it? Is Jesper Bratt a part of it? Is Nico Hischier a part of it? Is Jack Hughes a part of it? Like, is Dawson Mercer a part of it? Like, I don't view Dawson Mercer as part of the core because I think he's tradable.
Yeah, and
and that's been a rumor going around for a bit of time now. Dawson Mercer, and obviously things got held up last year when Jack Hughes got hurt.
And they're getting held up again this year because Jack Hughes isn't ready to take faceoffs.
So,
but no, he isn't. No. Like, he's just not ready to take faceoffs.
I've called my co-host Cody out on this before. He doesn't want to play best on best and be center and go up against Crosby and McKinnon.
Yeah.
Well,
like, good
that's
players.
That's a Team USA problem.
Good players learn to develop and find different avenues to improve in and find what their weaknesses are and improve on that. Here's my thing. This is the big thing New Jersey has been looking for besides the top six winger. They need a legitimate third-line center, checking center that can play a role similar to what Anton Lundell did during their championship run.
And who do you guys think that can be during the trade deadline?
I mean, right now, the target's been Ryan O'Reilly, but he's not going anywhere.
Nashville's in the playoff hunt right now.
Right.
So they're not going to.
Phil Deneau would have been great, but he was always going to Montreal. It was always going back to Montreal.
Jim, we're going to transition a bit here. And speaking of which,
Team USA guy to another.
These two teams are playing each other tomorrow in Winnipeg. Right, Caesar?
Yeah, lock in a win for the Jets, man.
Which Jets?
The Winnipeg Jets. Well, the New York Jets stink. So,
well,
talk about a fault. We talk about the New Jersey's fall from grace. How about the Winnipeg Jets from the President Trophy winners last year to being 8th in their division? I mean, it is absolutely incredible. I mean, they are the 31st ranked team in the NHL, tied with the Vancouver Canucks, and I mean, Connor Hellebuck injury really did them in, but they are 1-6-3 in their last 10. Kyle Connor and Mark Scheifele have been playing very well, Gabe Vilardi, but they're really, outside of that, nothing's gone right for Winnipeg. Jim, what are your thoughts on how did this unfold, really, is the real question.
I mean, I think, you can look at the general manager, right? Not addressing the second line center issue.
That's a Nick W. That's a Nick W.
Not addressing the fact that Nikolai Ehlers just walked out the door. That's a problem too, because Nikolai Ehlers brought depth scoring that they don't have. Now they found it against the LA Kings, but the LA Kings can't score. And the New Jersey Devils can't score, and that's a problem too. But I think Nikolai Ehlers not being there, not being used the right way, I think they could have re-signed him and kept him if they had kept him on the top unit with Kyle Connor and Mark Scheifele, because when he was there, he was actually producing, especially on the power play. You're missing him on the power play. Defensively, their D has been a weak link for a while now. This cut and paste type defense is a problem to me in Winnipeg. Outside of Pionk and Morrissey, it's just mix and match of guys. Luke Schen's good, but I think he's going to be on the move before the break. I think he wants to change the scenery as well. So to me, I think like Winnipeg's got issues that the GM has created, similar to the issues the GM created in New Jersey.
Now, this is basically, I mean, they haven't drafted well either. Look at these list of players that they've drafted.
No, they haven't.
One other draft window there as well, Caesar, for the previous years there, if you do have it, from 2 years prior to this. And that's when Paul Maurice was getting criticized, Jim, at the end of his tenure. There's the other one. Look at Cole Perfetti and not much else.
No, they haven't drafted well. They haven't developed anybody. Like, Vinny Elena was supposed to be their big stud, and they didn't do anything with him. He's kind of been a draft
like
bust.
you Levy with Vancouver.
Right. Like, they haven't drafted well. They haven't developed well. They traded – who was the kid they traded to Pittsburgh?
Oh.
McGroarty.
McGroarty, right? Like, that was a kid that was supposed to be a player for them, and he's not there anymore. So, look, I think they have a lot. They have to look in the mirror. They have to look at their drafting and developing. Similar to New Jersey, in the fact of the matter, not to bring them back into it. But if you look at New Jersey's draft picks, they haven't really panned out either. Their farm system hasn't been really that well, and they don't have guys that they just can call up into the lineup. So that's like an organizational thing. Like, what are we? Look, I think for Winnipeg, I don't think anybody expected them to win the President's Trophy again. But I do believe their window for winning, and with this group, you got to
at least being in the playoffs.
Yeah, they had to get deep in the playoffs. But the issue for me with Winnipeg is, where do you go from here? Because you have guys signed to long-term deals.
That's the thing, and they just signed all these guys that we were going to lose them. The Connor Hellebucks, the Kyle Connors. They didn't want to play in Canada or Winnipeg anymore. Just signed to bring them back. You got Mark Scheifele there. He's disappointed being maybe an Olympic snub. He's had a good year. So some of these guys individually are having good years. They get Hellebuck back, and they continue to struggle, Jim.
Yeah, I mean, it's defensively in front of them. They're just relying on Hellebuck to win games. You just can't rely on your goalie, no matter how good he is, to win games. You have to address needs. Like, you look at Tampa for a minute. Their 5-on-5 D they tried to address. They did. They're playing better in front of Vasilevsky. Vasilevsky's healthy again. That helps. They're getting quality starts from their backup goalie, too, in Tampa, but they're still playing the right way in front of them. Their top guys are performing, and now Tampa's trying to redo what they did to be successful by drafting, by developing players, by their farm system being really good, and bringing up guys from Syracuse and, just restocking their farm system.
Which I think is a big crucial part, is like restocking the farm system, developing players, and
that's why the Rangers are bad right now too, because they don't draft and develop.
We're gonna get to them.
I mean,
well, you look at it. Florida I get what all these GMs say. Hey, this player's not going to help me 4 or 5 years down the road because I'm trying to win. But eventually, you have to start looking at the draft again and looking at the players that could be part of your system and develop them. Like Vegas, I think, is starting to get into that window where, hey, we need to start drafting these players and keeping these players, because we've lost so many of these guys that could really help us in the lineup right now.
But Winnipeg's going to, just as we close here on Winnipeg, they're going to have a big problem with that, Jim, because Florida is a desirable destination. Winnipeg is if they have their guys in-house. But if you're not developing them and you're trying to get big free agents, you lose Nikolai Ehlers. And I think you can lose a guy like that and still kind of regain form. It might take a little bit. But again, they're not going to be that desirable market to bring people in if they're not drafting and developing.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to draft and develop, and you have to be a winner. Like, that was the thing with New Jersey, too. Like, Dougie and Andre Palat were, okay, we're going to incentivize to come here. Hey, big free agents are coming here. We're doing some things. We're making New Jersey desirable again, because there was a time where New Jersey was not a desirable location to go for.
I also think Cole Perfetti didn't take the step they were expecting. He's got 11 points, 29 games. He's been in and out of the lineup. That's a guy I think they thought with losing Nikolai Ehlers was going to take a step. He put up 18 goals, 50 points last year. You might remember he scored that goal. Was it him that scored the goal for the in the Game 7 against St. Louis to tie it up?
Yeah. So he scored,
I mean, that really is the big thing. And I criticized Sheveldehov solution at number 2 center. Rock and Noel. We're going to get to that actually at the end.
Yeah, we'll
on
get
the
to that
Panthers.
We
question.
got one more topic here.
We
and
got
then
one
we're
more
going around
topic,
the-
and then we're gonna talk to Jim. But I think the Jonathan Tays thing was more of a homecoming parade than it
But
was
that
an
was
actual
supposed to
legit
address the
signing.
third line center. He wasn't supposed to be
He
playing
hasn't. He hasn't. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
He hasn't played. He hasn't played in 2 or 3 years. I mean, I don't know how.
They're asking him to do way too much.
And
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if he was third line center and they had a number 2 center, then it's fine with his production and his contract. But he's not. And again, that's another guy to me. Like, just like he had preseason games to get conditioning, but his body is the break's going to do him some good because he's not used to playing this. Like, again, I think there's a lot of mismanagement of things with certain organizations.
And you take a look at a guy like Gustav Nyquist. They probably brought him in thinking he can play in a top 6 role. He's about a season and a half removed from a 75-point season in Nashville. They're thinking, hey, play him with Shifley, play him with Connor, get him with our talented guys. Maybe we're able to do something there. And
That's the call.
it just has not worked out in the way. I mean, everything has gone wrong.
Lowry missed part-time at the beginning of the season because of hip surgery.
Another guy with a contract extension.
And also Neil Pionk.
Well,
somebody
Lowry's not
said
a
it.
bad contract extension.
No, I'm not saying bad, but I wasn't saying any of those guys were bad, but just these guys have been extended and they're all locked in. Right?
Well, Lowry's a captain. I would extend my captain.
Yeah, I know.
He's actually brought a new culture to that room too.
Yes. But again, when it doesn't
Can I ask this
when it
question,
doesn't work
Jim?
out, it falls on the coach.
Can I ask this question to Jim
Mark
Kirby?
Sutton. Yeah,
Was Paul Maurice the problem in Winnipeg?
No,
And
absolutely.
who was?
Blake Wheeler was the problem in Winnipeg, and everybody.
Thank you. Jim didn't hear my old content back in the day, but I had.
Well, I mean, I was hearing that too when if you looked at all the issues that went on when who was there? Was it Boney that said this stuff? Bonus, Rick Bonus after the Vegas series, calling out his players playing a certain way because they were up 1-0 in that series. Probably could have beat Vegas in that series, but like guys quitting, locker room problems. Blake
I
Wheeler.
knew he was the problem with Paul Maurice.
Yeah.
Back then.
Yeah.
And once Blake Wheeler
And
left,
Paul Maurice enabled him.
and once Wheeler left, Lowry's captain, there was all this chaos about Connor leaving, Shifley leaving, Hellebuck leaving. Then they all stay because the culture's changed.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Wheeler now?
Well, Line went out the door. Evander Kane, on and on.
Well, Vander Kane is his own problem.
Well, yeah, but all those guys are accountable.
Right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, guys, let's. Oh, you want to go to that? Okay, we'll go to that.
Real quick before we get to the Panthers.
No, we got to get to the other thing. We got to get.
We will.
I know what Kirby wants to talk about.
No, go ahead, Caesar. We're gonna get to Olympics in a second.
With Igor Shesterkin being injured this week, they lose to Boston 10-2 this week. Are the Rangers in trouble?
Yes, big time trouble. Okay, so I put an article out today. If guys didn't see it, up on my Substack.
Oh, by the way, we'll put that, Jim, in our show notes moving forward. Give us the link.
I put an article out saying the Rangers have an ownership problem. Devils might have the same ownership problem, but this is a little different because James Dolan's listening to the wrong people. Because if everybody remembers, I just want to take everybody on a quick history lesson with the Rangers. When Jeff Gordon was there, who, by the way, is now the executive vice president at Montreal, he was the general manager. And PK Subban, Chris Drury wasn't there when they drafted Kako and all these guys. Yes, he was. He was the assistant general manager to Jeff Gordon when those guys were drafted. So, PK, you're wrong. That's one thing. Second thing is they put the letter out saying we're going to rebuild all this stuff. They were going on the right trajectory. Yes, Artemi Panarin free agent signing accelerated some things, but the COVID bubble really did accelerate things and give this team false expectation and hope because they are not making the playoffs that year. If there's 82 games, they're going to miss the following year. And 2022 was really when they were going to have that step and enter that window with this group. But instead, the Glenn Sather, Mark Messier get in the owner's ear. Dolan backs Drury. And Drury made some mistakes last year that would probably cost most general managers their job.
People were surprised with the owner. It didn't.
Right. Created a mutiny, creates problems within the room, tries to change structure when the Rangers are in a playoff spot and off to a good start last season. Everybody forgets the Rangers actually started off pretty good last year. Then they went downhill because they tried to
5-0-1 actually, and then the Panthers beat them And then that's when everything went downhill. I remember that exact game.
And then it's carried over into this year. Drury's an issue. There's still stuff in the room trying to change his culture, but Dolan comes out and says, "I want to be patient." No, he's not patient. He's volatile. He doesn't know what he wants to do. They don't know what to do. I do believe Artemi Panarin does get traded. I just don't see a contract extension happening in New York. I really don't believe it's going to happen. I think the Rangers need to sell. They need to embrace a rebuild, retool, whatever it is, and they have to accept it and actually do it the right way. Move on from Lafreniere, move on from Trocheck, and build this team the right way, because what they lost was drafting and developing, and you could see it. They have talented players, but when they go other places, that's when they shine. A la Capo Caco in Seattle. He's a good player. If he was used the right way, he would have been fine. But instead, the Rangers, again, rushed him, didn't have development coaches, skilled coaches in the AHL. Same issues right now with Perreault.
Well, they had Knobloch in their system.
Right, and they let him go to Edmonton.
Well, but Jim, I want to mention
the next head coach of the New York Rangers.
People forget they sent that letter to the fans that they were going to go into this retool, rebuild mode, but Igor took them way out of that. How good he was.
Well, no, but Igor was put in the system already, but the fans accepted it. The owner accepted it. They moved players out to get stockpile picks and assets and stuff. You get Panarin. Igor's coming along. Probably should have moved on from Hank, but I know why he didn't want to stay there, didn't want to leave. Like, I got all of that stuff.
Yeah, Mika. Yeah.
But they tried to hotshot a championship based on false expectations.
Exactly.
They did get to the conference final against
twice.
Yes, but both times they went to the conference final as an incomplete team.
Correct. I think Drury really miscalculated. I remember there was the talk of them potentially getting Pavel Buchnevich at the deadline 2 years ago, and they actually settled on Jack Roslovic.
They got Frankie Vive.
Well, that was actually a really good deadline by Chris Drury at the time. That was not.
And then he screwed it up in 2024.
And then he screwed it up in 2024, and then 2023 and 2024 when they went all in, got Kane and Terrace. Remember Terrace?
The Kane one.
He was only going to New York. Was the thing.
Kane forced his way to New York.
Correct. Yeah.
They didn't need an injured Patrick Kane when they had Tarasenko. Tarasenko was actually a good acquisition because he actually played.
And Mikko Mikkola.
Yeah, those two acquisitions were good. They didn't need Patrick Kane because they did all this tinkering with their roster.
Well, I remember specifically when they got Tarasenko and Mikkola, Patrick Kane made comments to the media about how he was so disappointed. Like, genuinely, like, I don't want to sit here and say he basically bitched and complained to the media.
Yeah, he did.
I'm not going to New York, I guess, and then they kind of forced that there. And, I think that was really, and he was hurt. He did not play well in that New Jersey series. And
but he was dealing with a hip issue.
And here's the other, and then he needed surgery. And then the next year he went to Detroit. But the real issue here, in my opinion, is when they had an opportunity to go all in the following year, the President's Trophy year, they didn't. And I think for me personally, Jack Roslovic ended up, I think, being a healthy scratcher. Was playing on the third line at one point in that Eastern Conference final.
Capo was a healthy scratcher yet again in an elimination game.
So, I mean, really a lot of malpractice there.
But also, Nick, this is, you listen to Gerard Gallant, Peter Laviolette, David Quinn. You listen to what they have said in the eliminations after a while. It's not the talent. The talent's there. It's not like Gerard Gallant after they lost to New Jersey. He's like, it's not about the talent. It's about these guys not wanting to play the right way.
Well, and that's it. They've driven really good coaches out of town. They have
players have.
That was weird.
Gerard Gallant, Peter Laviolette. I mean, they drove a lot. I'm just saying, these are good, successful coaches that have had good success other places. And
well, Laviolette's won a cup.
Laviolette won a cup. Gerard Gallant did a very nice job in Florida, went to Vegas. I know the thing there. I mean, he's had success everywhere he's gone. And I know people say it's a Gallant problem, but I think that
Gallant was a big W in Vegas.
Gallant was great in Vegas, but he got let go earlier on than
that always clashed with the management.
Well, that's clashing with the management. That's a little bit different, but they've driven some really good coaches out of town. And Mike Sullivan, look, I mean, I think he's.
I didn't like the hire, to be honest. I still don't like the hire.
And Dan Muse, wasn't he part of the New York Rangers organization? Who has Pittsburgh in a playoff spot?
Well, here's my issue. Mike Sullivan, the Pittsburgh problem started the year the Panthers went into their first final, is they can't hold leads under Mike Sullivan. Defensively, this team is not good. But also, the defensive men that Chris Drury has provided Mike Sullivan stink. Carson Soucy, all these other guys, like, they're just not good enough. I mean, Gavrikoff's good, but he's missing Adam Fox. And, like, there's just...
Braden Schneider's taken a bit of a nice step, but still it's not,
It's not enough. You don't have Keandre Miller anymore. You have third pairing guys, seventh pairing guys playing in your lineup.
Yeah. But moving on from the New York Rangers, wanted to add this in here. The Florida Panthers won against the Ottawa Senators tonight.
Actually, by the way, game televised on NHL Network.
I know. I learned that actually when I was turning it on. So thanks, NHL. We've talked a bit about the Panthers being active. They're calling around. We've heard that specific names such as Connor Murphy. I mentioned Sean Corrali, but now you're starting to hear some of the other insiders talk about they're poking it around on some depth players. What do you foresee the timeline being?
We've talked about depth players before. Like we've had the discussion and I followed up on it. Guys like, we've talked about guys like Eric Haula. We've talked about Corrales. We've talked about the Alexiaks. We've talked about the Ferraros. You're looking at depth centermen that can help this team out if you go around the league and you see where guys are slotted and teams that aren't playing bad. Like a Kiefer Sherwood, could that be a player that the Florida Panthers go after? Again, does it happen? We don't know. Again, Vancouver could, we know what Vancouver could do, right?
They made some pretty idiotic decisions.
Yeah, they could resign him for all we know. Like, they could do it. Like, I'm being honest. That's a real possibility.
Yeah,
they really could do it. If you look at depth forwards around the league, like, I think that's what they're looking at. They want centers. They need help down the middle. And I think they need depth now in there on D.
Defense.
They need D. They need NHL depth, quality depth. This is the same problem. I don't want to say it was a problem in Montreal, but that was what Ken Hughes is targeting and has been targeting. And that's why he got Philip Deneau, Alex Carrier, Alex Texier. They needed NHL-ready players because their guys were not just developed yet in AHL. You're seeing that with the Panthers now, too. And, again, it comes back to developing, drafting, scouting players that can fit your system. And I think that's what they're going after. They're going to look for players that can help them win a third Stanley Cup in a row.
Now, to clarify for everybody, because they're going to hear the names Eric Haula and those are guys you're just spitballing, correct?
Spitballing.
You're not hearing anything.
Yeah, no. The Alexiak one, the Ferraro one, I've heard they've been linked to.
Connor Murphy, another one.
Murphy is they've been linked to.
So, it really all just depends on these injuries. I'm not sure if anybody knows what's going on. The Matthew Tkachuk thing, I think Monday. I don't know if you've heard anything about Brad Marchand.
I haven't heard anything. I mean, it's just day to day with Marchand right now. But I heard Jones maybe Olympics could be
longer than that.
It could be longer.
I'm starting to wonder, is it the 6 to 8 week timeline that we initially feared with the cloud? That might be it.
Could they put him on the LTIR?
Well, they put him on IR today, and LTIR, it's interesting.
Won't be, but if they put him on LTIR, it won't be season ending because they'll back before the end of the season.
Yeah.
Alex Baumgartner tweeted out, he also said it's just kicking the can down the road, which sometimes Zito does.
Yeah, I mean, again, it all depends on what they do, but they are definitely looking for depth players.
Yeah, and I think that personally, like Eric Haula, the guy you mentioned, I think some of these other guys, like name Chris Scott has mentioned, Oscar Sundqvist. I think that's a good ad. That guys that are winners, guys that have won Stanley Cups, guys St. Louis looking to deal some players, that could be it. That could be an option, right? Like, you could a guy like Boone Jenner maybe out of Columbus. Don't say Boone Jenner. Don't fucking say Boone Jenner.
I would like that. That was a name early in the year, Jim, coming into the season that the Panthers were circling on.
Green Bay?
Did you just see that?
Green Bay? Holy fuck, just missed the field goal.
No.
Oh my gosh. But Jim, on that front, particularly on the Jones front, that's a significant update. Something I've also poked around a bit about. I heard a little bit about it, that it could be longer than they initially feared. That really should kind of increase the urgency on a.
Oh,
we just lost Nick.
Oh, we lost Nick. Here's our boy Swervin Irvin. He's talking about the Canucks, everyone. Tanks.
Yep.
Oh, we brought up.
What the
I know,
hell?
the ghost came after you, Nick. They said you don't want Connor Murphy. Sorry, guys.
Increase the urgency on a Connor Murphy, Jamie Alexiak. I think a Murphy right shot guy could kind of fill in that top 4 role a little bit better than an Alexiak. Ferraro would probably be a nice fit, but I don't think San
Lilligren's
Jose.
out there. Lilligren's name's been out there. But
Lilligren
again, now
could be
the Sharks
interesting.
really want to move any of these guys because they're winning.
And again, I'm starting to wonder a bit on the Marchand thing. We'll talk off air, Jim, but there's definitely, a day-to-day thing, and I'm not really sure. He said he was dealing with some stuff, so I'm wondering, are they willing to hold him out a bit more? I mean, the Panthers, when you really think about it, the 3 points back of a playoff spot, got 50% of the season
because
left
they
to
haven't
go.
given up on the season yet. I think the next couple of, I think everything's going to determine what they do, where they are by the break, by the February 4th Olympic break.
So that's crucial.
Yeah, this month is huge. And it's huge for a lot of teams. But if they really start to fall out of it again, you almost wonder what they really want to do.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is, I feel if you're able to get Kachuk, Marchand, maybe Schwinn comes back, inserted back into your lineup. I know the Seth Jones thing sucks, but you get those 2 legit players back in your lineup. Maybe you add a depth defenseman. I think you can really salvage some things. Then you have Jones being inserted in. Then you have Gadjevich. And there's
maybe Kelikov comes back.
Kulikov could potentially come back. I know the real question everyone wants to know is, when is Barkey coming back? When's Barkey coming back? Well, that's going to be determined next month.
He's coming back in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Unless he pulls Adrian Peterson and is really ready by the end of the season. I expect playoffs.
So, I mean, if it were up, if you're a betting man, Jim, and I'm not saying you are, but if you were, would you bet the Panthers make the playoffs?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so, but I'm not counting them out. I just think it's so hard to go back to the final again.
We're not talking finals. We're
No,
talking
but
playoffs.
I'm saying it's so hard to just get back to the playoffs after all this injury, all this adversity. The body has taken so much over the last 3 years.
I don't trust Pittsburgh and Philadelphia and all these teams.
And Boston.
Buffalo.
Boston, I think Boston I can believe in a little bit. I think Boston is in the position Washington was in a couple years ago. They said, okay, we're going to take our lumps. We're going to retool on the fly, and we're going to go from here, because I think it's the way Swayman is playing. If Korpisalo is playing the way he's playing, I think Boston could play well.
Well, us Big C's had Boston at the beginning of the year.
I did, and I still think they can make the playoffs.
I
But
think
if I was a betting man,
Tampa's playing well. Montreal's not going anywhere anytime soon.
I still don't.
Montreal, you're speaking to the choir.
We're 3 points back of Washington with a game in hand.
But I
As
think
of right
Washington
now.
moves up, and then an Islanders or someone else can move down.
I don't know if the
Philadelphia.
Islanders are going anywhere.
I think Philadelphia would be the one, but even they're playing.
Well, them
really
too.
so.
Them too.
I think it's tough
It's
to
going
say.
like I said, I'm not going to count them out, but it is really tough.
Yeah, I think it's 50-50, right? Genuinely.
You don't think Kachuk is going to give him that boost, maybe to win a couple?
I don't
more
know
games?
how he's going to play.
But this
Here's
is
the thing.
This could be the healthiest he's been since the first year being with Florida.
Look, if he comes in and plays like he can, yeah, then the Panthers are going to make the playoffs. But
They need it right now. They need it right away.
They need him now, but they also need a defenseman in the lineup because they're leaking oil on the back end so badly right now.
But the way they played defensively tonight,
well, it's Ottawa.
have the guy.
It is Ottawa.
I
Well,
understand.
Still.
But you have to translate that over into every game on the road.
And the
Yeah, I
consistency is
agree.
a problem. And I think part of taking a chance with this blue line, that the inconsistency is going to come.
Right.
But the Jones injury really is
Good point,
it's a
Art.
shot in the heart. It's a shot in the heart. And I think that if you're gonna if you really want to make the playoffs, if they're not punting on it, I think the urgency for a defenseman comes now. I think playing
And
with
they might
this,
have to take a bigger swing than just Connor Murphy.
well, that there's another one, and don't even fucking say Dougie Hamilton because.
No, I'm not saying Dougie Hamilton. Not saying Dougie Hamilton.
Well, who would you think? Who would be a higher pedigree than Connor Murphy potentially for you? Who would you have in mind? Just spitballing here.
Guy in Calgary.
Oh, Rasmus
I hope
Anderson.
Justin Falk. I don't really like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Justin Falk.
How about the guy also in Calgary we talked about used to be with the Devils, Kevin Ball? I like that.
Kevin Ball's a
I
good
like
player
Kevin Ball,
too.
Yeah, Kevin Ball is a really he has done a former New Jersey Devil actually. Everybody.
Yep.
So that
No, not only former New Jersey Devil, the player that was part of the Taylor Hall trade that sent Hall to Arizona.
Okay.
Yes, that's right. That's right. That's interesting.
Or they find a player, like we were talking about this, spitballing off the air. You find a player that has good term, that when everybody's in this lineup, you can finagle a little bit, especially next year when the cap goes up. So, like, maybe you like, because no one really saw Seth Jones going to Florida. Maybe they try to find another move like that out there.
Yeah, I just don't think long term that really does make sense because the Seth Jones thing was in wake of the.
No, but I'm saying a guy that has potentially like a 2-3 year deal still left on. Not a guy like Dougie Hamilton, but I'm saying a similar player, less AAV, but has a similar length of term.
You know, honestly, I hate to say this, Kirby, but Justin Falk would fit that bill. With the bill that Jim is describing.
Yeah.
Justin Falk.
Well,
would be
I think Justin Falk just became expendable with the contract of Philip Broberg.
Correct.
Oh, the Broberg contract.
So again, now there would need to be some cap retention on that by St. Louis.
Yes,
And
but I'm saying that could be a potential fit with a Sundqvist Falk.
Yeah, that's where the interesting part comes in, and maybe a Boakfist to make some room comes out.
Mackey may have to go.
I wouldn't like Mackey for Falk, to be completely fair with you.
No, but
Nick.
They're gonna hear the touch. There's a touchdown for Chicago right there.
You guys are way ahead of me.
But that's an interesting point, Jim. You bring on Justin Falk and Oster Sundqvist. I do think though,
and I'm just looking around. Like if you look at around guys that have term left that could help them this year, next year, and then we move on from guys like. That's where I'm looking.
I do wonder. You start to take a look here. Some teams potentially falling, like Anaheim and LA, have kind of taken a bit of a fall here. They're still in it. Do you see that those potential guys could become sellers?
Maybe, but I could see Anaheim taking a swing at Dougie Hamilton.
Ooh. Yeah, that would fit the Verbeek kind of what he's done the last couple of years, trying to bring in those veterans, but. Enough of Florida.
And you know who would be a good player for Paul Maurice?
Who?
In Anaheim? Like, again, this is spitballing. I've not asked around about this. There's 2 defensemen that are still on the market that Anaheim could move.
Racco Gudis?
Gudis?
No. Well, besides Gudis, but they want him there. Mitnyakov and Zellweger.
Zellweger. Wow.
They'd be willing to move Mitnyakov?
His name's been floated around since the beginning.
That'd be a name I'd take a swing on. I mean,
Jim told me that name for a while. The Zellweger one surprises me more.
Well, Zellweger was available in the summer.
Are you saying Zellweger ain't a Coach Q guy?
I don't know if that's the case, but I think if you want to have guys if you want guys that could be potential NHLers or NHLers now that can help you moving forward.
Okay. Yeah, but you miss on him and you send him off and he takes off here.
Right, exactly. So, again, this is just me spitballing.
What were you moving on to there, Nick?
We were moving on to the Olympic talk, but do you want to answer this question by Rock and Roll first? Is it possible we don't let Barkov come back if he can play, but we're out of the playoffs? I don't think we're going to let him play.
Barkov, I don't think we can do much in the playoffs without.
No, I don't think. I think he'd come back in the playoffs. Now, is there a chance he comes back if we need him to make the playoffs? There's been some reports about that. Chris Johnson, I think. I don't want to misquote him, but I think he insinuated that the other day, particularly around. He thinks it's going to be his first game is going to be in the playoffs, but we're not going to know really much. And Jim, you know this till February. February is the benchmark, and we'll know. You'll get a significant
once February 4th at 3 p.m. comes, well, obviously whatever trickles in after, but
yeah, and
this is like a gardening can my mom or grandma would have for
gonna say
nice spring weather.
What a joke this Olympics is.
This is crazy. Look at this. Oh my gosh. So Kirby did send me an audio saying that the ice they're gonna re-demolish it and then put it back. Put, I guess, new ice on the surface, and hopefully
that's not going to solve the problem if the pipes stink and the cooling system isn't working, as I've heard multiple times.
Go ahead, Jim.
The AC doesn't work. The cooling system hasn't been tested all day, and as somebody told me who's over there, yeah, it's great to have a test event involving the Italian Cup. These guys aren't NHLers.
Wow.
Now, Jim, you said the other rink that the women are going to be playing in, which they play earlier in the tournament, is ready or in better shape?
I guess it's in better shape, but again, it's a little embarrassing, to be honest.
Oh, I think it's gone past that, and the jokes like, the Winter Classics.
The Winter Classic ice was a lot better than this.
I know.
And just the facilities, we talked about that, Jim, of them. I don't know if those will be ready, kind of the makeshift walk-in right now with this Italian league. It's not all done up, and it probably might not be completed. But they said they're confident.
I said this to
Elliot
somebody.
Friedman said tonight that he's confident the ice will be good enough to go for the players.
I mean, they want to play. They can't go anyplace else. They don't want to go anyplace else, though some people have heard they're trying to lock down other buildings. But Derek King's over there. All the ice guys are there basically telling them what you got to do. But if your cooling system isn't going to work, you're going to have problems like this.
And like you said, 3 games a day.
3 games a day for 2.5 weeks.
Yep. This is different than Four Nations, everyone. There's games going on from, early afternoon Italian time.
Don't forget, but Four Nations were playing in NHL buildings. And the days they had 2 games in one day, they had like a 3-hour break in between those games.
And there were some days off and stuff.
Right,
yeah.
So the ice was able to get, they're going. It's every day, going.
I'm with you, Jim, but they're saying if they're
not...
Look,
they're going to play the tournament. They're going to play the tournament, but it's a problem because the National Hockey League is already telling the IIHF and the IOC, come France, well, obviously, when they come to Utah, it's going to be played at the Delta Center and stuff. So that's not going to be a problem.
Can you tell me? You said to me off air, we had a call yesterday about the insurance policy and that type.
Yeah, so the NHL made sure that the IIHF and the IOC covered players' contracts if they get hurt.
Yeah. So fans are upset if their player gets hurt, but
years.
the players are covered. The fans will be upset, but the players aren't worried because they're covered and all that.
Right. But this has been a sticking point for years. That they never wanted to guarantee the players' contracts, insurance, all that stuff. Yes, the NHL is an invited guest and everything, but they want more control, and they've basically told the IOC, we're running the ship if we're going to France. We're taking
go into that. You said by 2028 or whatever, 2027.
So we already know France has the next Winter Olympics. But the NHL wants to make sure that ice is up to standard, up to the dimensions they all agreed on, and they are going to be the ones putting this ice in.
Yeah. And again,
after this debacle, or else they're not going.
Well, it's already been a debacle, and it can't go any worse than this when the players are over there and if something happens when they're there.
Right.
With an injury, rut in the ice, things like that. That stuff.
Guy tears an ACL in a rut, and the guy's in a playoff run. It's forget it.
Yeah.
You think it was a fight to get the players back? It's going to be a fight to say to the NHL, guys are never going again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that'll be an interesting unfolding of events there.
We're
But
just
Jim,
gonna have to sit back and watch, and
yeah,
hopefully,
Luckily, I don't have to go over.
yes.
yeah,
that's-
well,
I can sit back, chill with my boys on Cats and Rats.
That's
Yes,
right.
sir.
Hey,
Over
we'll be live
stream.
streaming some of those games, so if you want
Yes,
to come on with us,
There we go. We're gonna. Yeah, Jim's got.
I mean, I got nothing better to do.
There we go.
there you go. As
Look,
me
I
and
will-
Caesar.
So real
Nick's
quick,
off during that time, right, Nick?
No, I'll be there.
after February 5th, done for a little bit.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. We're gonna be doing coverage here just like we did with Four Nations, probably even more, Caesar, than what we did there last year, right?
Kirby, be a little over there, maybe a little over there. Who knows?
Well, I might see this guy Nick again down.
I
in-
might see this guy in
Yeah.
a couple weeks. He's coming up the weekend of Gasparilla, by the way.
I
man.
know.
All right, holy
There
we
fuck!
go.
All right,
Luckily, I got my hotel.
that'll be a little bit of a rough day to get up on Sunday to head down.
Not the
to-
Nick J. Levine Estates in Tampa. He's not.
No, I don't got an estate here. I got a 1,000 square foot apartment. That's it.
Wait, you didn't even offer it up? What the?
Hey,
You
Well,
can
you
sit
know
on the
what,
couch.
Jim?
it would take
you
it.
know
It
what,
would
Jim?
take
Listen, when I get my studio built here in my backyard, you're more than welcome to stay in there.
See, that's a quality host right there. I like that.
You want to sleep on the
Quality
couch, Jim? You want to sleep on the couch?
I
I guarantee you like a hotel better.
Hey, I will tell you this. I have slept on far worse things than a couch.
There we go,
Floor,
Jim.
table.
I've slept in my wheelchair before.
Yeah. Well,
I've
look,
in
slept
the
in Saskatchewan on the floors for ball tournaments. Saskatchewan.
Like I've
Me and
slept on
Caesar-
the floor.
Dirt
I've
roads
slept
out there.
on the-
Dirt roads out there.
So I don't have a problem with that.
There we
as
go.
me and Caesar look on in this Green Bay Chicago game.
Well, hold on. There's an injury here. We don't need a bottom six acquisition. We can add Jim Biringer to the bottom six for the Panthers. There
I
we
could,
go. Blue
just
collar.
give me, Coach Maurice, just put me in there. I'll play like the Barkov role, play two-way hockey
Oh,
for
geez.
you, and that's it.
Hey, we
Oh,
all know
that's
you
it?
can skate, Jim. We all know you can skate.
No,
So
hold
I
on,
can
Jim.
play
Hold
two-way
on, Jim.
hockey.
Hold on, Jim. You don't want to be the Barkov role. Some fans can be pretty hard on Barkov, right, Nick? Right, Caesar? I don't know if he wants. that.
Yeah, and I wonder after
Not
this
doing
year they're
enough
gonna.
out there. Not doing enough out there, right?
All right.
sorry, guys. oh,
Oh,
All right. Anyway,
Well,
that's
Jim, we
it.
really appreciate it. We appreciate
These
you taking
guys
the
are
time as
distracted
always.
by football over here. I don't know if they're with us here, Jim.
Losers.
No,
I'm
I'm
doing-
with you. We're with you.
We're
But
with
hey,
you.
C's. Hey, Big C's. What's it all about, baby? What's it all
it's
about?
about the Miami Hurricanes.
That's it.
Hey,
Okay.
where's the pigeon bird at? Where's the pigeon?
Listen, you ain't gonna get me saying it, but
You should have seen the other night Caesar cut Cody good. But Caesar, you were wearing some other team stuff earlier. I'm surprised Cody didn't say something to you.
Hey, look, I'm a Florida State fan, but I do have friends that play.
Okay,
For the
but
Canes.
Cody would never do that.
I
No, Cody
understand.
would never do that.
No, I have friends that play for the Canes, so I'm supporting my
Okay,
boys.
but the only guy on this frame right now out of the four of us is at the bottom. Am I pointing the right way, Nick, or do I got to go this?
who are you trying to point to?
Jim
Me.
Biringer.
Jim Barrett? No, a little more than the middle.
Here?
Yeah, perfect.
Right
okay.
there. That is the guy. He is a Hurricanes fan.
Yep. Hey,
Any
are you going to
thoughts
be
on-
coming down for the game, Jim?
I wish. Unfortunately, no.
Ooh.
Unless somebody can get me free tickets, no.
Motherfucker, I'm trying to get free tickets. I'll let you know. I'll let you know. I'm trying to get free tickets. I'll let you know. Fuck.
Unfortunately,
Hey,
no.
Caesar, fourth. Hey,
The
Caesar,
cheap.
hit up our,
Oh,
hey, Caesar, hit up our sponsor, Canes Wear, for Jim, and he could be in the rap video, and we could do a Panthers Wear commercial.
we could. Hey, look, listen,
Huh?
Jim. Caneswear invited me to the Terragay party, so you're more than welcome to come.
You got free tickets for us, C's?
I'm working on it.
Okay, let me fucking know. Holy
Yeah,
fuck.
let me know.
It's gonna be.
I'm working on it. I'm
Let
working
me
on it.
know.
Wait a minute. Hold up. All of a sudden, Nick, what
I'm gonna
about
give you
these chicken cutlets?
First of all,
When I have something.
Cutlet.
When I have something.
you want me to give you
Oh, no,
cutlets?
no,
on the-
no,
you want me
no,
to bring
no.
cutlets?
No,
You want me to
you
bring
know what?
cutlets? You
Blow
want
it
me to bring
out your
cutlets?
ass. All
I-
right?
Whoa,
it's
easy.
It's in my
Jim's jump in the middle here.
I'm gonna bring cutlets. But here's the thing, Caesar.
One of these
You
guys
don't
is gonna
know.
get jerseyed.
And I'm sure she's watching. My own mother doesn't make me fucking cutlets that often. This is a very special occasion.
I wonder why.
This very special occasion. So, Jersey Jim, I'm sure he knows all about the cutlets.
We need a poster in the background.
The cutlet. We
My
know about
own
the cutlets.
fuck-
here.
Yeah! Let's go!
What a game this is. Holy
Let's
shit.
go, the Bears!
Last time I checked, our Cowboys aren't playing.
Man, fuck the Packers,
go.
man.
We
Oh,
did the 20th kick. Let's go.
I'm not going to
So-
cheer for the Bears, though.
Sorry.
All right, fellas.
All right.
Here we
Jim, I
go.
appreciate you being back. Where can everyone follow you? What do you got ahead?
Hey, you know where to find me at Jim Biringer on Twitter.
Yep.
That's the place to be. Jersey Jim on Instagram, Full Press NHL on Instagram, Full Press Hockey on YouTube. Drop some stuff. We talk all Devils all the time. We have a new video up on the Devils, and we'll see what happens going forward there.
And some of your Devils community over here will get the clicks for us because
Yeah.
we talked a lot of Devils here tonight.
Absolutely.
And
out.
go ahead.
That's it. I'm out of here.
Oh, he's out of here.
Oh, okay.
I'm out. I'm gone. Like, see ya.
Got the workout in. Got the show and everything.
Hey,
That's it.
great job as always.
Appreciate it.
Jim, I hope to see you February 1st. I should be able to go to that game. We're going to see. I'm trying to work some free tickets of my own. Fuck, I mean, I'm interested to see how that works with the tent and everything, to be completely frank.
Can't wait to see a Stadium Series game. It's gonna be
That's
we'll
so
get into-
fun.
I might wear my Panther jersey and get killed, but
yeah.
Hey, it's okay.
it's for the brand, right, Kirby?
Yep.
Brand, okay.
All right,
Thanks,
fellas.
Jim. Thanks.
Take care,
Right.
Jim.
As
Take care,
always,
Jim.
guys, thank you for joining us. Till next time.
Till
Let's
next
go,
time.
Cats.
Always a pleasure.